What's going on, guys? It's Char here, and we are at the scene of the crime. We got a new article. I was not expecting one this Thursday, but I was prepared. So we are here right at the article drop. We have 13th of August, 2026, Killer Instinct, presenting a first look at the Elektra Hero Pack. Without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. First of all, the art here is looking pretty clean. Both these look like custom pieces of art. I think Bruno Friend is the one who did the hero arts for most of this wave, and he's very good at what he does. So awesome. I am Elektra Nachios. Not even the stars are safe in the sky. Elektra. With innate talents that made her a martial arts prodigy, Elektra Nachios was recruited by the Hand at a young age and trained in the ways of stealth and assassination. Years later, after finally escaping a long and tumultuous period as an agent of the Hand, Elektra was reborn as a hero. Now she uses her deadly skills to protect the people and places that she loves. FFG is proud to announce the Elektra Hero Pack. Deadly martial artist and member of the Defenders, Elektra stealths into the scene with an expansion pack which introduces her as a new playable hero alongside her 15 signature cards. Paired with the pre-built aggression deck, which we assumed she was gonna be the aggression hero of the box to help her tear through the villain's forces, you will be able to wield Elektra's lethal skills from the moment you open the box. As a game's first hero with the villainous keyword on our own side deck of special ninja encounter cards, okay. Elektra can give the villains a taste of their own medicine in ways no hero has done before. Special ninja encounter cards, so she's gonna shuffle them in like kind of like the gardener and the in-betweener and whatnot. I wonder how that's gonna work. Okay, let's see. Ninja training. Though her dark past with the Hand has caused many problems for both herself and others, Elektra's not about to let the lessons she learned during that time go to waste. They're recovering 9 health and 1 defense, so her stats for survivability look pretty weak, but let's see what's going on here. So the hero side says, Elektra Nachios begins the game with a ninja deck. See insert. Ninja training. When you change the hero form, shuffle the top card of the ninja deck into the encounter deck. Okay, so you're diluting the encounter deck. 0-1-1 stat line. Villainous. When this character uses a basic power, give it a boost card. That's crazy. Okay, yeah, that's why. Killer Instinct. When a boost card is given to Elektra, when a boost card given to Elektra is turned face up, cancel its boost ability, then it gains. You can do that every time. Then it gains a pip. So unless there's a 0 on the boost card, she'll always have like a 1-2-2 stat line, which is a bit better for sure. Right off the bat, Elektra Nachios begins the game with her special ninja side deck. Unlike past heroes with side decks, this ninja deck is full of encounter cards rather than player cards, and Elektra shovels one of them into the encounter deck each time she flips the hero form. This plays into the villainous keyword on Elektra's hero side, which has her take a boost card from the encounter deck every time she uses a basic power, whether it's thwarting, attacking, or defending. This may seem risky at first, since many villains have some nasty boost effect. Thanks to Elektra's Killer Instinct, you can choose to cancel a printed boost ability on her boost cards if they have one. If you do, you grant them an additional boost icon for some extra value. Okay, so that's pretty good. It's just like a random way to modulate how strong her basic activations are without any of the risk. It's probably pretty important that there's a cancel boost effect, because like the article says, there are some really, really bad ones in this game. In this similar vein of turning villains encounter deck against them, Elektra's ninja deck is full of treacheries that only benefit her and provide no use to the enemy. Each card in her ninja deck turns itself into a face-down boost card for Elektra when it's revealed, and the boost effects they give her are pretty dang potent. Remember, her Killer Instinct ability is optional. Her ninja stars let her draw 2 cards. Her ninja strike boosts the strength of the powers themselves. Finding ninja bandits gives Elektra a free tough stats for effort, giving her extra mileage out of her low hit point. Yeah, she's very clearly designed to be like kind of squishy, right? 9-3 recovery and 1 defense, which is on average going to be 2-3. Not super high up there. Ninja stars surge when revealed. Give to Elektra as a face down boost card. Boost: if Elektra is using a basic power, draw 2 cards and shovel this card into the ninja deck. Otherwise, give this card to Elektra as a face down boost card. This timing is really interesting. It's kind of hard for me to wrap my head around here, but essentially we're just going to read the boost effects. So this is if it gets revealed at the top. Surge: give this card to Elektra as a face down boost card. So I guess it would be the next time she activates we can use the boost effect, I guess is what it's saying. This is if Elektra is using a basic power, she gets +3 for this use. Otherwise, you shuffle this card and shovel this card in this ninja deck. Otherwise, give this card to Elektra as a face down boost. So I wonder if it's something where it's like you can activate, and let's say you don't need the +3 for that activation, you just give it to yourself as a boost card. And then you actually, when you need the +3, you kind of line it up exactly where you need it. That's kind of the impression I'm getting here. Not sure if I have that timing wrong, though. Ninja Vanish. Surge. Give this card to Elektra as a face down boost. So they all say the same exact thing. And the boost effect is if she's using a basic power, give her a tough status. And shuffle this card into the ninja deck. Otherwise, you can give this to yourself as a face down boost. So I think the second part of the boost effect doesn't really matter for most of these cards. I think it matters the most probably on Ninja Strike. Because let's say you get that, I don't know, let's say you're thwarting for or you're trying to hit an enemy for exactly one and you get that, you can just deal it to yourself as a boost card so you know you have a +3 lined up for like maybe a defense in the villain phase or something like that. Should be pretty interesting. Psy Strike. Attack. Okay, we got cards. Let's keep reading here. The rest of Elektra's kit continues to build on her encounter deck focus playstyle. Her Psy Strike can help you get additional ninja cards in the encounter deck based on the number of Elektra Psy you control, as you expect she has 2. Okay. Combine that with events like Killer Blow and Move Unseen, and you can get the majority of the ninja deck mixed into the encounter deck in relatively little time. Yeah, one thing she doesn't really have like an alter ego ability. Really? The only reason you're going alter ego is to just kind of heal up and whatnot. And I didn't shuffle a card into the ninja deck, but I think it's random, right? Shuffle the top card, right? Her Psy Strike, let's read this. At 1 cost event, deal 3 damage to an enemy. For each Elektra Psy you control, shuffle the top card of the ninja deck into the encounter deck. To look upon me is to see that end of life. Pretty cool art here. Then we've got Elektra Psy. So 2 cost upgrade here. Restricted weapon, exhaust Elektra Psy, deal 1 damage to an enemy, and reduce the cost of the next acrobatic or attack event in this acrobatic or attack event, and you play this phase by 1. So we just get 2 deals that aren't actually damaged, so they don't break stuns, just gonna have positive and negatives, but it does reduce the cost of the next acrobatics or attack, meaning her Psy Strikes can play for free, which is pretty good. Combine that with events like Killer Blow, it's a 2 cost attack. Deal up to 5 damage to an enemy. If this attack defeats that enemy, shuffle the top card of the ninja deck into the encounter deck. Deal up to 5, so you can choose. I guess this is for that perfect, it's a perfect thwart archetype, so maybe the Killer Blow is this perfect attack archetype where if you defeat an enemy exactly, we're going to get some kind of advantages for that. Is my only reason why I would say it says deal up to 5. Then we have some flavor text. I am Elektra Nachios, not even the stars are safe in the sky. Then we have Move Unseen, which I assume is our 3-cost thwart event, acrobatic thwart. So this is just so that her Psy can discount her thwart event and her attack event, which is pretty good. A 2-cost resource generator that like pings a damage or a tough and also gets in there to help reduce the cost is pretty strong. Move up to 4 threat from a scheme. So the top card of the ninja encounter deck. Ninja deck into the encounter deck. Nobody ever looks up. Yeah, so this pairs really good with like the stealth training, which just came out in Daredevil into the Fear No Evil box, because you can remove exactly as much as you need. This can be really good for triggering all those abilities. Elektra's partner Daredevil can set up her next basic power by putting the exact encounter card you want on top of the deck. Wait, what? Defender Martial Artist. Oh, we have Daredevil by Bruno Frendo. Wow, it's a very cool piece of art there. I hope he releases the whole thing. That'd be cool to make a hero alt with it. After Daredevil uses a basic power, place a card from the encounter discard pile on top of the encounter deck. Okay, so her ninja cards don't actually go in the encounter deck, right? They go back to the ninja deck. Okay, so and this card always gets given to Elektra as a boost card, so it'll never be in the discard pile. Unless there's a milling effect that puts it there, which means you can maybe have some combinations with like Scarlet Witch or something, or maybe like a Falcon who's like milling the Elektra cards from the encounter deck. You can have Daredevil go ahead and set up and put that back on the top of the encounter deck for your next activation. 3/2/2/3 stat line is pretty solid. Yeah, it's just pretty good. Having 2/2 on both stats, I think it's the same exact stat line as Echo's ally, so it's just really good. And this can help set up something, especially for scenarios like 4 boost. 4 boost can be really good. Then Acrobatic Prowess can ready Elektra. See, this is what I'm looking for. She kind of needed it ready, right? She has a 1-cost ready. Ready Elektra to give her a face down boost. They may be fast, but I'm faster. So her cards seem relatively simple. It's a very cool piece of art they chose for this. But yeah, so 1-cost ready is super good for a hero like this, who I assume wants to be using her basic powers a lot. Elektra can also have to take advantage of any amplify icons the villain puts into play, and can even supply her own through Dance with the Devil. This was the team up card for Daredevil and Elektra, which is very good for Elektra. As you know, she has villainous on all her activations, so you can just go ahead, play this kind of early, get all the use out of the amplify icon that you want, and then you just discard it at the end of the round so the villain can't actually use it. Or her history with the hand. Oh, and she has another one. Prerequisite in hero form. You get +1 hand size after you change form. Discard this card. Wow, uh, this is like a pool type thing, right? It seems like you want to put that kind of protection card on it that stops with that icon, but no, she actually wants this icon. So it's really interesting that if you can handle giving the villain this extra boost to their activations, this can actually be pretty good. My problem is this is probably like a solo only card. I can't ever see that this icon is this is probably one of the worst icons in multiplayer, and I can't ever see justifying putting this on the table in multiplayer, considering a villain might average from like 4 to like 6 activations every single round. So you're giving yourself maybe like 2 to 3 extra damage in a card versus the villain getting like 6 extra damage on like average. It's just not worth playing this. Maybe if you have people who are really good at survivability and it's an easy scenario, it's not a big deal, but yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this. That's a tough sell for me. Just make sure not to make things too dangerous for your allies. I wonder if there's a way that we can blank that during the enemy phase. If there's a way we can blank it, then it actually kind of is pretty good, but I don't think there will be. Speaking of dangerous, Elektra's for your aggression deck is full of cards that can spell doom for the villain and their minions. Similar to Elektra herself, Black Cat has her own villainous keywords that lets her punch and thwart above her weight. But keep in mind she can't cancel boost abilities like Elektra can. Oh, that's kind of scary. So 1/1/3 hero for hire martial artist, and she has villainous. But if she hits the fact that they point out that she can hit the boost effects. Personally, darling, I'll take Larceny over Virtue every time. Yeah, the fact that she can hit boost effects means that these allies are probably really hard to justify running. The stats, if she was maybe like a 3/1/2 with a villainous, that'd be interesting and maybe worth the cost. But I don't know if I'd find myself playing that. We might need a Falcon at the table for sure. Fellow martial artist Shang-Chi can consistently dish out 1 to 4 damage around, either picking off weakened enemies or softening them up. For Elektra to finish the job with a chain react, and so we see a new Elektra card down in this aggression card section. Hero for hire Shang-Chi, this art looks really awesome. 2/2/3 stat line for 4, which is pretty expensive. He enters with 10 ring counters. Holy crap, that's a lot of counters. Action, remove 1 ring counter from here, deal 1 damage to an enemy, limit twice per round. So you do want to keep him around for long. That's kind of tough because like you have to like find some way to heal him or give him extra HP, because even if you are spending all his counters, it what takes him 5 rounds. But if you do decide to commit to that, that's what 10 damage, 16 damage from a 4-cost card. That's pretty strong. You just need to be able to take the tempo hit and have it spread out that much. But this is a really good ally for aggression. It feels like it's very expensive, but it's almost like an outlet to get rid of toughs or really annoying soften up enemies for specific health thresholds. But the main thing here is for me is removing tough statuses, it feels like, which can be annoying for some aggression decks to deal with. We have chain reaction, which is oh, this is not an Elektra card. Okay, it's still an aggression card. I set him up, you knock him down. Hero action, deal 2 damage to an enemy. If that enemy is defeated, deal 2 damage to a second enemy. If that enemy is defeated, deal 3 damage to a third enemy. So it is a chain reaction. We have 3 guys getting cooked here. If like 2, 4, so this is 7 damage for 2 if you can manage to hit the kicker on every single one. Home technique brings us to a 4/4 4/4/5, which is really good for 2 costs. Yeah, I could see this being really solid. Obviously, we have to think about these cards in the current environment, so there's no home technique. So getting a 2 for 7 is pretty good. It does take some lining up though, which can be cool. And we have another combo card through cards like Combo Move. Hero action attack, deal 2 damage among enemies in play, deal 3 damage instead if your identity is a martial artist trait. So this is like the move in shadows type card. No, not the move in shadows. It's the 1 cost discount in yellow. That's like remove 1 threat from a scheme, remove 1 threat. Very similar card. There's no discount on it, but you do get a buff if you are a martial artist. So 1 for 3 is very efficient, especially if you are, a martial artist. So I could definitely see this being pretty good. Just like a low cost attack event. Very cool. And Killer Row from her own kit. Elektra can exactly defeat. Oh, here we go. So this is kind of what I was alluding to, that we're going to get an exactly defeat. You defeat it with an attack that deals no excess, allowing her to take advantage. This is going to confuse, because the aggression one stuns. Flow of battle, prerequisite martial artist. So you have to be a martial artist to play this, which is crazy. Okay, the other one wasn't limited in that way. Max 1 per player. After you attack and exactly defeat an enemy, discard this card to draw 3. This is not as good as I thought it was going to be. You're kind of like banking 3 resources. So it's like you have like an in-kit spider. What is it? The web shooter from Spider-Man and then Spider-Man Miles Morales. I mean, drawing three is very strong, and it's something that you can kind of commit to. But for a lot of the times, I feel like aggression really wants to have output on the board, and this isn't output. Now, it can be super easily. You can kind of think of it like a maybe like a priority target or something like that. It's a bit worse because it doesn't cost 0, but I think this card's really interesting. I don't know if I would play it, but yeah, it gives a big boost of momentum. On top of momentum, Elektra can slow down the villain with a well-placed nerf strike. 3 cost, discount if you're a martial artist, deal 2 damage to an enemy, stun or confuse that enemy. Well, this is a really expensive card for what it does. If you're not a martial artist, that's not bad. I don't think that's bad. 2 cost for deal 2 and a stun or confuse. Obviously, if you're playing home technique, it gets even better because then it's like 5 for a stun and confuse, which is like cut upper, which is a good card, and you can choose to confuse instead. So being able to stun or confuse is very good. I guess the deal 2 is maybe for some of these like vulnerable minions in the box, but 3 cost is a lot to justify that. She does have a lot of ways to discount attacks, so maybe it's not the worst cost in the world. But it is interesting. It's definitely probably only a card you're including if you're a martial artist. Allow you to go hunting shadows. Event, 0 cost event. Search the top 8 cards in the encounter deck for a card and set it aside. Shuffle the encounter deck and put the set aside card on top of it. So this is interesting. This is a way to kind of set up those villainous allies or set up your own boost cards for Elektra. Is this card worth spending a resource on and like spending a card out of your hand? I don't think so, or really know, but it is there if you want to set that up. With such tools at her disposal, Elektra is bound to shun the villains, why her name is one to be feared. With this Elektra alter ego art here, which is super cool. I think it plays homage to kind of her old design with like kind of the head wrap. Kind of her newer design just gives her like a headband. Very cool. Deadly efficient. With her ability to use the encounter deck to her advantage and her deadly precision as a former assassin, Elektra is a strong hero and an excellent addition to any team. Look forward to taking on Kingpin and his criminal enterprise as Elektra when the Elektra Hero Packs arrives in November. Thanks, Peter, for the article. Quick recap here. So she uses the encounter deck. She has Villainous. She has ways to throw cards in the encounter deck to make her easier, such as the Ninja deck. That gives her, benefits such as extra card draw, extra power, and tough statuses. Seems like she's really going to need to use this Hunting Shadow to get kind of positive effects. The problem with these ninja cards is like they never actually go away. So like shuffling them in means you will get these effects at one point, which are strong. Drawing 2 is strong, getting a tough is strong, and getting 3 extra is strong. You will always proc them, but they don't actually dilute the encounter deck in a way that's like super efficient, I guess, because they always surge into the next card. So yes, you can surge into it and have one really big activation, then they're back in your ninja deck. You have to find a way to get it back in there with either your event or not. I think she looks interesting. I wonder what other cards were missing from her kit that might bring it all together. Something that's like a really easy answer that I always go to is getting a ready built in your kit is usually a very positive sign. It just really opens up the amount of things you're able to do. Problem is, I don't think she's going to have one of those, mostly because she has a 1 cost ready. I'm trying to find where the card is. Yeah, she has a 1 cost ready already in her kit, so I don't think she's going to be getting an upgrade that readies herself. So yeah, you ready Elektra and give her 1 face down boost card. So again, this is something that's like a damage amp and a ready, which is really strong. She's gonna have really good activations here. She seems really efficient at playing events and whatnot. So I can definitely see her being pretty strong tempo based thing. I just think some of the cards in her kit are kind of interesting. I'm not saying flow of battle is gonna be weird, but maybe it's just a resource sink when you have like a really awkward hand that you can pay off later in the turn to get a really big turn. Which actually, I guess now that I'm talking about that card that way, when kind of the tempo is really low or the villain doesn't start with a lot, you can afford to play these cards as like caught off guard protection or to bank these resources to only trigger it on the turns that you really need the card draw. So just like you're pushing a lot of damage. It is only one max per player, so you don't really get to bank a ton of them, but it could be super interesting. And I also think the aggression cards that were shown off were also very interesting. And yeah, Shang-Chi is really fun. Again, giving something 10 ring counters to the 10 rings is just fun. It's just fun thematic thing there. So she looks interesting for sure. And what do you guys think about Elektra? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Iron Fist is next and the last hero of this wave. Super excited to see that one, of course. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Have a good one. Goodbye.